Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas. How I wish that there were more than 24 hours in the day.
Water in French is pronounced eau, and that's spelled E-A-U if I'm correct. Also O as we see it in our show, the letter O. So the two combined kind of were a nice play on each other as the title of the show. Symbol O, which is an eternal symbol, the ring is kind of the circle of life that O represents, the continuation of life and the constant rebirth and everything that we go through in our life process. And so the two fit very well together. Follow the central character, you see him going through this journey of life and experience all these wonderful things, love and hate, joy and sorrow and fear and all those different emotions. And so within each tableau, within each scene that you see with the different acts, there's little stories going on. Water really is a character of its own, and it's anything from the subtle, calm serenity of a pond or a garden to the raging, turbulent waters of a storm and everything in between. O really is the star of the show. The water is the star of the show.
The theater itself is a beautiful building, and fairly unique in many, many ways. Its design is sort of reminiscent of opera houses in Europe. The pool is 1.5 million gallons of good old Las Vegas city water that we filter and we just chlorinate like you would your swimming pool in your backyard. The pool is 25 feet deep in its deepest section. It contains 7 lifts designed to move through and above the water and underwater. When the lifts are totally collapsed, we're at about 17 feet of water from the water surface to the surface of the lift. On any given day, we have to arrange the schedules and the work habits of about 150 technicians. We have a day shift and a night shift, a show crew and a training crew. If you see behind me, you can imagine there's not a whole lot of training facilities out there that can match what we have here in our theater. So we really use the theater extensively throughout the day, and that requires an enormous amount of coordination. A lot of people say, is the technology the star of the show? And in many ways it is, but in many ways it's not. It's designed to really support the artist and what they do. And we've come to realize that really the heart of the show is the performance that's taking place on that stage.
Wardrobe is it's a crazy place down there. They do an amazing job of getting the quality out on the stage. We had some amazing challenges at the very beginning of the show because we had never really experienced costumes in the water for that length of time, and not just costumes being wet, but the costumes being on a body that going through a lot of acrobatic motion and things like that. So the wear and tear became incredible, and a costume would last maybe half a week, 5-6 shows before the costume would really be in need of repair. The divers in this show, they come from a variety of backgrounds. We have gymnasts, trampolinists, specifically divers, from the springboard diving world, and some high divers that have, jumped the cliffs of Acapulco. The high dive you'll see here in the show is a little over 60 feet. It's quite challenging because it isn't just one person going off a platform, it's many at times going off that.
Being a diver here at O is different from competitive diving in that I get to perform nightly, well, 5 nights a week, for a packed house. I've dreamt about being in Cirque. This was my dream. This is professional sport for me. I can't do this anywhere else. There's no other show like O.
When an audience member comes to O, the moment they walk in the door, we want them to forget about all their daily life issues, their problems. We want them to have a real entertainment experience.
There's no show like Cirque du Soleil, especially like O. Every time you see it, if you sit somewhere different, if you happen to not blink at a certain part, you'll find something else. And that's what I love about O.
When people leave, what I would imagine they're saying is, wow. They're saying, I can't believe that we just saw what we just saw. And I think most people are thinking, I can't wait to come back.